Hi, welcome back to another week of Club CRV. The content that I share with you every week in Club CRV is designed to either help you in your remote viewing sessions to be more accurate or just to simply enhance areas of your life that can then affect your remote viewing, can kind of bleed into your remote viewing and help you in many areas. Last week, I shared with you some content that gave you a pre-session visualization that's designed to help enhance the accuracy of your sessions. This week, I want to share something with you, but before I do, I want to share a little story to kind of explain how all this came to be. A number of years ago, I was having some problems with my thyroid gland, and a friend of mine, a student, actually told me about a man that she had met who was an MD. His name was Dr. Barry Grunlin. He was a psychiatrist. And she told me that he uses a technique that has been extremely successful in helping cancer patients that are terminally ill and have been given up as hopeless in actually recovering from cancer, utilizing just their minds. And he developed this technique called cell level meditation. When he told me his story, I was so astounded. He talked about how he was an orphan, and back around the early 1930s, he was caught up in an epidemic of tetanus. There was a tetanus epidemic, and kids were dying of lockjaw. Many of the hospitals opened their door to take in these children. And back then, they believed that the children had to be in complete, utter silence and total darkness, that any light or any sound could stimulate them, which could cause their backs to arch and break. It was a horrible, horrible thing. So he was in the hospital. He was in a Catholic hospital. And he said his only respite was when this nun, who would take pity on him, would come into his room at night when she was leaving. And she would come in and she would lay down next to him on his bed and she would sing to him. And he said that was the only comfort that he had, the only respite. And when he was put back into the orphanage, which back in those days was called a workhouse, they said to the people who were running the workhouse, they said, this kid can't play and can't work. He's got to be in total isolation. So they had this patio that was completely surrounded by gray cement bricks. And he sat in this patio, surrounded by just cinder block to look at. And he was tied to his chair. Maybe he was so weak they were afraid he would fall out. I don't know exactly why he was tied to the chair, but he was tied to the chair. And he couldn't move for hours and hours. All day long he would sit there. So he found a way. He was 7 years old, and he found a way to go inward and begin communicating with his organs and communicating with his cells. And the thing that astounded him was that when he would communicate with an organ, say the liver, for example, that the organ would speak to him and would tell him many things that amazed him, not just of what the organ could do for his body. For example, the liver has over 600 filtering things that it does in our bodies, but the organ would actually communicate and give him instructions. He overcame the tetanus. He lived many, 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 many years into his 90s. And he was so adept at being able to access these inner cells. And he discovered that the cells are so intelligent. The cells can actually communicate. For example, if you cut yourself, your blood coagulates, unless you're a hemophiliac, your blood will coagulate and seal the wound. How do the cells know to rush to the wound and do that? How does a woman's body know the exact moment to go into labor and allow a baby to come out? Many of these things are things that science still doesn't have the answers to. It's sort of a mystery. But bottom line, we do know that cells have their own intelligence. So his idea was, let's go inward. Let's communicate with those cells. Let's start a dialogue with our cells. And let's find out a way that we can heal from the inside out. After I studied with him somewhat, I had an incident happen where I cut my toe and I was on a trip And a few days later, I looked down and I had red streaks going up my leg. So I contacted my son, who's a nurse practitioner, and he's like, Mom, you've got to find a hospital right away. You've got blood poisoning. So we weren't anywhere near a hospital. We were out in the middle of nowhere on a trip. So I decided that I would simply put my hands on this wounded area and I would communicate with the cells in that area and tell them that I needed them to heal. I needed them to heal this spot. Within 30 minutes, the red streaks were gone. I found that there were several other incidences in my life where I was able to utilize cell level meditation to do almost like an instantaneous type of healing. It's well known that some of the warriors and the medicine men in various Native American tribes are able to heal wounds instantly. In fact, if you want to read about a really crazy incident, it's a very moving book called Awakening Spirits by Tom Brown Jr., who was literally raised by an Apache warrior who had been given a vision of a little blonde white boy who would come to him, and he was instructed to train this little boy. So when Tom Brown Jr. was about 8 years old, he made friends with an Apache child who was his same age in his class, and the boy took him to meet his grandfather, who was the Apache warrior. And the grandfather recognized Tom Brown Jr. as being the little boy in his vision. And he took him under his wing and he taught him until he was like 18 years old. And Tom Brown Jr. ended up becoming the foremost tracker in the world. Has been on many cases in tracking, and he's written many books about tracking. But the amazing thing about Awakening Spirits is that it talks about many of the healing techniques that grandfather used. And one of them, Tom Brown accidentally cut grandfather on his calf. And grandfather said, oh, you need to be more careful. And it was a terrible cut, a deep cut. And grandfather simply walked to the river's edge, put his hand on the cut, and within moments, the cut was completely gone and healed. So I'm talking to you about this today because cell level meditation, I believe, is a wonderful tool that I just want to give you for anything that you need to heal in your body. So if you'd like to, you can turn this off, and we're going to go into just the meditation, the audio recording. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do and that you find it really, really beneficial and helpful to you. I'll see you in the recording. Okay, so go ahead and close your eyes now and allow your eyes just to remain closed for the duration of the session. Feet flat on the floor, arms resting comfortably. Start out by taking a slow, deep breath. Breathing slowly into your belly and exhaling slowly. Feels so good just to relax and let go. Letting go of any of the cares or worries that you've had all day, any rush that you might have been in today, any pressures you might be under. For the next few minutes, just let it all go and relax. Just relaxing, resting. Feels so good just to rest your mind. Let go of your thoughts, all the busy thoughts that won't let go sometimes. Sometimes we have a monkey mind, and that's okay. You can just take a look at the thoughts and let them go. Much like the ocean waves come and go. They come up on the shore and then they retreat. They approach and they move away. You're doing great. And I'd like for you to think about for a moment the space between the top of your head and the ceiling, or the space from your ears to the walls. Just think about that space for a few moments. Whatever space you happen to be in, think about the space around you. And as you consider the space around you, think for a moment about the space within you. Did you know that if your body were the size of the universe, there would be much greater space between the stars and the nebulae than there currently is? And by the same token, if you were to take the entire universe and bring it down to the size of your body, you would be far, far denser and heavier than you are now. So there's a great deal of space between the molecules and atoms in your body. And that space is actually greater than the space between the stars of the heavens. So as you consider that truth for a moment, go ahead and start breathing in from the space outside of you into the space within you. Breathing from the space outside of you into the space within you. You're bringing the space into your body. And then exhaling slowly and deeply. Breathing in slowly and deeply. Space without into space within. And as you're doing this, begin to take an assessment. How are you feeling? Notice how your head feels. Is it light? Is it heavy? Is there any discomfort? If you feel any discomfort or pressure, simply breathe into that discomfort right now. Breathing into the discomfort and then breathing it out. Moving into any unpleasantness, any heaviness or pressure. Allowing yourself to feel it and acknowledge it. Then just breathe it out. You're doing wonderfully. Notice your neck and your jaw. How do they feel? Moving into your shoulders. Relaxing your shoulders, that little space between your shoulder blades. And your back, how does your back feel? Your hips, your arms, your forearms and your hands. Allowing your whole body to relax. And allow the relaxation and the awareness move into your hips, your thighs, your knees, your calves and your shins, your ankles, and your feet. And as you allow yourself to be aware of your body, notice any discomfort in any part of your body and move into that discomfort. Become one with the discomfort and allow the discomfort to dissipate. When you're ready, move right now into your liver. Acknowledge and show gratitude to your liver for the many, many functions it performs in keeping you healthy, all the filtering functions, dealing with toxins and all the things that the liver does. And as you sit quietly with those cells in the liver, ask your liver if it has anything it wants to share with you. And as you allow yourself to commune with these cells in your liver, it's so important to listen and to ask. You can ask questions of your liver and be open to any answers that come. There may be advice of ways to take better care of yourself. There may be something completely unrelated that your liver wants to share with you. The cells of your liver are wise, and your liver is one of the most important organs in your body. Take some time now to just communicate with your liver. You're doing great. Now today we're communicating with the liver, and every time you listen to this recording, you can communicate with your liver, and then as you have communicated with your liver every day, for example, for maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or as long as it feels right for you, you may be ready to move to another organ, perhaps your heart, or your thyroid gland, or your pancreas. You may want to visit your different arteries and veins, some of your bones, your eyes or your ears or your tongue, the pineal gland. There are so many parts of your body that you could visit and learn from. Your brain, the most amazing machine ever. The idea is that every few weeks you change to another part of your body and listen to that part of your body, or to that organ, or to that gland. Take your time. This is a lifelong, daily habit that you can develop of doing cell-level meditation. Cell-level meditation is so powerful. Very good. Very good. So this was just a short example of cell-level meditation. And the goal would be for you to get into the habit of doing it just like the structure of CRV and practical remote viewing, in that you have accustomed yourself to it to where you know exactly what to do And you don't need a recording anymore. You can do it on your own and visit the various parts of your body. And when you're out and about during the day, should you have any sort of injury or stomach upset or pain somewhere, you can move to that part of your body quickly and easily and get answers as to how to resolve the issue or to even to heal yourself. You're doing so very well. We live in a vast world that's very much like an organism, very much like our bodies. And just as we can go in and work on specific organs, we can go to different parts of the world mentally and work on healing them, one heart, one soul at a time. Allow love to flow to all the parts of your body, as love is the greatest healing technique you can possibly apply. Love in the body, love in the world. Healing the body, healing the world. Again, I'm so proud of you. Now, in a moment, I'm going to bring you back to a normal level of consciousness, and when I do, you'll open your eyes feeling great as though you've had a full night of sound sleep. And again, you can use this recording as a guide to teach you how to do cell-level meditation, and then you can take it from there and make it your own. Coming up now on the count of 3, number 1, coming up slowly, feeling so good. Number 2, almost back with me now. Number 3, eyes open, wide awake, feeling great.